Hello, everyone. I am the wolfcook, and welcome to the Wolf Kitchen. I am so excited today. We are cooking a wolf's favorite dish for us wolves and our close cousins, the coyotes. It already has my mouth watering and saying, it's going to be good. Now, for those of you who have not done so already, or this is your first time watching, hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell and let's get cooking. Now, the first thing we always do, we prep the food. Now, my 2 potatoes are already baked. I baked them at 400 degrees for an hour and 30 minutes. Now, I'm going to show you the seasonings and the ingredients we will be using. First, we have our 2 baked potatoes. And the ingredients for our baked potato are chives, shredded cheese, 2 slices of butter, 1 for each potato. For our salad, we're going to have arugula. And in our salad, we're going to add shredded parmesan cheese, grape tomatoes. And to our salad, we're going to add extra virgin truffle oil. Now for the pork chops. First, we're going to start with our seasoning. Sea salt, black pepper, garlic powder, Worcestershire sauce, and 1 cup of beef broth, and 2 slices of butter. And these 2 slices of butter are going to help with our sear. Again, we have our 2 pork chops. They are cut 1 inch thick. And now it's time for us to season these. First thing we're going to do, we're going to start with our black pepper. Then we're going to add our garlic powder. And now add salt. Now flip over and season the other side. Now the pork chops are seasoned on both sides, and now it's time to preheat our skillet for 2 minutes. Now that our skillet has finished preheating, it is time to add the oil, and we're using organic peanut oil. And you can add enough oil just to coat the bottom of the pan. Then we're going to let that heat for about 1 minute before it's ready to add the pork chops. Now it's about a minute later, and now it's time to add the pork chops. Now I'm going to add the second pork chop. See how this grease is sizzling around those 2 pork chops? That's what you're looking for. After it starts sizzling good, that's when we want to add our 2 sticks of butter. Then we want to cook on this side for about 4 minutes. Cook on medium-high. Depending on the thickness of your pork chop, you might have to adjust your heat and the length of time you cook on each side. Now it's coming up on about 4 minutes later, and now it's time to turn the pork chops on the other side. See that sear? That does look good. Now we're going to let it cook for about 3 minutes on this side. Just be aware that you may have to adjust the heat. All right, it's 3 minutes later, and I'm going to turn it to check the other side. Now I'm going to flip it again. That is perfect. Now it's time to add the Worcestershire sauce. I'm going to add some to each side of the pan. You see it start to sizzle at the bottom of the pan. That is good. Now it's time to add the beef broth. And you should start off with only adding a half a cup at this time. Bring to a boil and let it cook for about 1.5 minutes per side. During this time, the sauce will thicken up. During this time, you can start basting. And after it has been going for a minute and a half on this side, you can turn it over and do the same thing. Now the sauce is thickening pretty nicely on this side, and now we're going to turn it to the other side. Now we're going to baste it some more, and then we're going to turn it over and let it go for about another minute and a half. The sauce should be pretty thick by then. Okay, it's been about a minute, not quite a minute and a half, but as you can see, the sauce is thickening. Now we're going to flip it one more time. This is good. The sauce is really thickening. And again, depending on the thickness of your pork chop, you might have to adjust the heat, add a little less beef broth, or cook your pork chop for a little less time. Now I'm going to baste some more. Each time you flip the chop, you should continue to baste. Now it has been about a minute and a half later, and I'm going to baste it one more time on this side before I flip it to the other side. Now this should be the last time that I have to turn the pork chops before they're ready to come off. Now I'm going to baste this side again one more time. Then I'm going to leave them for about 30 more seconds and they will be ready. It has been about 30 seconds later and they are looking good. Now it's time to come off and plate. There you go, everyone. All done. Don't that look good? They look juicy and they should taste delicious. Now I'm going to let these rest while I make my salad and baked potato. Now it's time to make the arugula salad. The arugula and chives have come from Mrs. Wolf's garden. After we add the arugula, now it's time to add the truffle oil. Next, we're going to add the grape tomatoes. We're going to spread that around. And then we're going to add our shredded Parmesan cheese. Now we're just going to give it a toss. Now it's ready. Now it's time to load the baked potato. Now we're going to load the baked potato. This baked potato just came out the microwave after 2 minutes, so it will be hot for the butter and the cheese. After splitting open the potato, you can use a spoon or fork to loosen up the potato. First, I add a slice of butter. I'm going to spread the butter around, but leave it on top to let it melt naturally. Now it's time to add the shredded cheese. Then last, we're going to add our chives. Our potato is now loaded, and now it's time to plate the entire dish. Now that we have our plate out, the first thing we're going to do is add our baked potato. We're going to lay that down on the plate. Next, we're going to add our pork chop. We're going to lay that down on the plate. Next, we're going to add the arugula salad. And finally, we're going to add the sauce. Here you go, everyone. The Wolf Cook's version of a seared pork chop a loaded baked potato, and a arugula salad. It does look good. Can't wait to eat. Well, everyone, the food is done, and it smells delicious. And we're about to eat. Hey, Mrs. Wolf, are you ready to eat? Hey, don't be letting the other wolves know we're about to eat. You know they greedy. Well, everyone, I'm going to have to go. Before it'll be trouble. It's nothing worse than a bunch of wolves fighting over a piece of meat. So I'm about to get these chops into that chop. But before I go, if you have not already, make sure you subscribe, hit that like button, hit that notification bell, leave a comment, and don't forget to tell your family, your friends, your co-workers, and even those neighbors. Tell them to come watch the Wolf cook. Cook them a delicious meal. See you next time and see you soon.